Welcome, beloveds. Today is a very special day, very important day because today is World Mental Health Day. So, very important day for me as a psychologist, and this day is for each and every human being because there is no health without mental health, and it is not separated with our physical health or being. Every year on October 10, we observe World Mental Health Day as planned and organized by the World Health Organization. The idea is to bring more awareness, to increase more awareness around mental health and mental health issues, to spread awareness about mental health, to educate people about mental health, to emphasize more on mental health services and related programs, and to reduce stigma and increase mental health services. Let me first explain to you the definition or meaning of mental health. Mental health is not just an absence of mental disorders. Mental disorders are completely different category or a theory to understand. What happens with mental disorders is there is a breakdown of, you can say, breakdown of mental system. There is something to do with the functioning of the brain, of the body. Both are interconnected, and it is caused by lot of distress and negative events, and mainly it affects the functioning level of an individual. The functioning level of an individual gets severely disturbed or impaired in ways that affects his physical being, psychological being, occupational functioning, as well as social functioning. This is a different category to understand, and that needs attention of a professional like a psychologist and or a psychiatrist. Mental health is a well-being in terms of thoughts, emotions and behaviors. This is very important to understand. Like, how do you understand that you have a good physical health? So you are feeling more active and energetic throughout the day. Your sleep pattern is good. Your appetite is good. You feel you feel high levels of energy and vitality to work, to relate with people, and there is absence of any physical illness. You are able to consume food, you are able to digest food, your routine and everything is at working at its proper place. Basically you feel good within your body. What happens with same thing is with mental health. At a thought level, at an emotional level and at a behavioral level, what is your experience like? So well-being, as in your at a cognitive level, at a thought level, you are in peace with your mental environment. There is not as such a level of overthinking or toxic and negative thoughts that catches your attention and disturbs your level of focus and traps you down. At an emotional level, you feel content. It's not like you have to feel happy all the time, but you feel content, you feel okay, you feel good about yourself, about your life, in your relationship with people, with your work and everything that is involved. And at a behavioral level, which is more at a productive and functioning level. So mental health is a well-being in terms of our thoughts, emotions and behavior. There are some basic components of mental health which will help you to understand to how you can take care of it at an individual level. So basic components of mental health includes thoughts, emotions and feelings. This is the basic and very important. So at any given point of time, how you are perceiving a stimulus, meaning how you are confronting people, how you are interpreting the event or situation or what just happened with you. So that interpretation is creating your thoughts. and your thoughts are coming from your belief system, as in how you, like what you believe about yourself, how you see the world around you, and what are your thoughts about your future. These are the three main basic things. So if at a thought level, your level of interpretation and perception of the world and the stimulus around you is at an appropriate level, or at a functioning level, as in it is making your life more easy and your mental environment is more productive and peaceful, and you are able to deal, that's very important, you are able to deal with whatever is showing up in your life without creating much of distress or disturbing your functioning level at any level. Then in terms of feelings, it's important that you check your feelings every now and then. You can use a practice of mindfulness to understand this. So you can set alarm. There are just wonderful apps, free apps available, or you can just decide the time periods and come in contact with your body and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Or you can breathe in, breathe out, and affirm and accept your feelings. For example, right now I feel whatever is it, put it in the blank. So this way you keep in check with your feelings to help you, be in contact with your body. And it is very important that you label the feelings to enhance your emotional vocabulary. Feelings are not just limited to depression, sadness, anxiety, anger, worry, or stress. Check this on Google, Harvard list of emotional vocabulary, and you will find other relatable information as well. So enhance your emotional vocabulary, and every now and then keep in check with your feelings by saying, right now I feel. Come in contact with your feelings. And at a behavioral level, what appropriate behaviors you can choose to respond appropriately to any given stimulus. So of course you can categorize your behaviors in terms of helpful and unhelpful. That is way better than categorizing it just as good, bad, positive, or negative. Maybe you can just see it as what is healthy behavior for me and for others, and what is an unhealthy behaviors. Now when we are going quite well with our lives, and let's say circumstances are also quite favorable, that time maybe there is not a much disturbance around this basic components of mental health. But when situations becomes difficult, when circumstances goes uncontrollable, and of course that will happen because life is pretty unpredictable as well, that time it's very important that you have your own toolkit. You have your coping thoughts and coping behaviors, which will help you to deal with yourself as an internal environment and with the situation externally in a way that is protective of yourself, meaning of your mental health. And these three basic components of mental health, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, they are interconnected. So what you think is how you feel, and that's how you behave. So if at a thought level, any thought coming from a belief which is negative or unhealthy or unhelpful, then the triggers of feelings or emotions will be unhelpful, and accordingly you will behave. So it's very, very important that you take care of your mental health by being mindful of these three basic components: thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And also it is very, very important and appropriate to consult a professional help. It's just like a checkup with any doctor, with any physician. Like you have your dentist checkup, or you have your checkup with a physician, or suppose if you are not feeling well, then you go to consult a doctor. Same thing is with your mental health. So at any given point of time, if you think that you are too much disturbed at a thought level, at a feeling level, and your behaviors are going very unproductive, unmotivated, and there is a sense of meaninglessness or hopelessness, when all of these things are beginning, please make sure that you just hold yourself, catch yourself, and seek professional help. Don't wait for anything to become really big. It's like, no, that it's not at all appropriate to increase tumor of any kind, and then what happens. Same thing is with our mental health. So at any given point of time, when you see there is a disturbance at a functioning level, and you are experiencing lot of distress, and it is continuing consistently over a period of 1 to 2 weeks or more than that, then please consult a professional help. Along with helping yourself, taking care of yourself, everyone has their comfort zones to go to. For example, some escape things help, but they are not long term reliefs. Like you can take, of course, self help materials to handle yourself, and self care practices as well. But first and foremost, hold yourself, catch yourself, and seek professional help of a psychologist, and train yourself, educate yourself that what is this subject psychology, and through those therapy sessions you will learn a lot about yourself. So you can take that. If at a counseling level it's becoming difficult, let's say, then maybe just be curious. Let me just understand what is my thinking process is like why do I have this certain pattern of thoughts which is affecting my life, even though we all are like that, even though I'm a very happy individual being. Why it happens most of the days and times I feel very unproductive, unmotivated, extremely sad, and I take time to get out over things, and before I come out of one episode, the other 3 episodes are waiting for me to deal with, and there is a lot of heightened level of arousal and heightened emotional sensitivity. So maybe just be curious to educate yourself and learn about your own mental health environment, and then club it with your self-care practices, with your journaling and reading practices, and whatever other good helpful rituals that you seek. And third component you can think of is movement. Movement is very, very important. So I have divided it in 3 ways. First is movement of your body. So exercise, yoga, any cardiac activity, cycling. Exercising is very, very important because it does release helpful hormones and neurotransmitters which we need it, like endorphins, dopamine, serotonin. All of this we need it in appropriate amount for our healthy functioning, and it also triggers a reward system which serves as a motivated mechanism for us. So movement of body is very, very important. Meditation is to our entire system. So meditation is to mind, exercise is to body. Remember this. Meditation is to mind and exercise is to body. It's very, very important. Second is movement of your psychology. By this I mean being mindful of your thoughts and feelings. So like I just said, keep in check with your body, with your feelings, and ask yourself, what just went through my mind right now? What am I thinking about it? Why am I thinking? Why is a very unhelpful question. It's a very abstract question. For example, if someone thinks that why am I going through this? Why I struggle with confidence or self-esteem? and why life becomes so uneasy or unpredictable at times. Now this questions has no answer. What do you mean by why? You have to be very specific here. So for example, okay, what is in my life right now which seems unpredictable and uncontrollable to me? And with confidence or self esteem, where exactly am I struggling with confidence right now? In what situations exactly I feel low in my being or esteem level? What can I do about it? Now, these are examples of specific questions which will give you specific answers, and accordingly you will be able to take steps to do something about it. So just cross and change all your whys to something very specific. Pick up one specific moment in time, work on that, note your thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and rate them how you are thinking, like how much you believe your thoughts, how much you are believing your feelings and behaviors, and then using strategies change it. So psychological movement includes keeping in check with your thoughts and feelings. What am I thinking right now? And come in contact with your feelings by labeling the feelings. Right now I feel, right now I feel, right now I feel, and put the name of the feeling. And last is movement of your spiritual being. So this has to do with God or your own purpose or your goals, basically whatever is meaningful to you and whatever matters to you. Okay, now this year WHO has selected this theme for mental health, which is it is time to prioritize mental health in workplace. Beautiful and very powerful and important. It is time to prioritize mental health in workplace. So workplace is the place where we work, where we spend half of our life and half of our day as well. It is very important to have a workplace where working conditions are helpful, positive, nurturing. And if anything is opposite of this, then save yourself or of course need some help. So if see, a workplace has to be with two things. Firstly, positive working conditions, and second, positive working environments. Positive working conditions has to do with all the facilities that are available or provided by the institution. And positive mental health condition means that mentally, emotionally, you feel safe, protected in your working space, with the work and around the people as well as with the institution. And negative working condition has to do with not having enough facilities, which might cause lot of annoyance, frustration and irritation at any given point of time. And negative mental health environment has to do with, you know what I mean. So there are toxic people, there is a negative environment, so toxicity spreading, bullying, gossiping, torturing people directly or indirectly, lot of sarcasm is involved, and then targeting people or excluding them and isolating them, lot of politics going on. So all of these things affects individual at a very deeper psychological level and emotional level, which paves the way to mental health crisis. So WHO is to the point that this year we have to prioritize mental health in workspace. Now here are some steps which I'm thinking that should be there in any good institution to create a safe mental health workspace. First thing, every institution needs to have or has a psychologist, a counselor. a trained educated psychologist and a counselor that every institution or company needs to have. So there can be once or twice or some time schedule where employees can talk to this psychologist, and of course things are kept confidential. So a space where any employee could come and take sessions from a psychologist. That's the first step. Second thing is maybe a zone, a separate zone can be created where anyone who has any kind of complaints, toxicity, or has been a victim of such games, then they can go to that zone and relieve themselves. Instead of, no, the point is, instead of spreading that toxicity, blaming, gossiping, and that negative environment, like bitching about people and all of that, instead of doing that openly and in individual or separate groups, maybe you can just go in that space. You can give it a name like my garbage space or my vent out. Yeah, venting out space is a beautiful word. Whatever works well. So you can go to that zone and maybe you can just talk to the wall, and or the best part would be have a mirror and talk to yourself in front of the mirror, or you can just write things and throw that in the dustbin. So there could be a wall, a mirror on the wall, and a dustbin. So this kind of objects will also serve as a powerful reminders that you have to throw things out instead of passing it out to other people and spoiling everyone's mood and day just because you have a problem with something. So maybe you can just go to that zone and you can do your blaming, you can do your gossiping, you can do your venting out, and then come out, because we do feel irritation and frustration at times, and it needs address, but it needs a proper level of address. Okay, third thing could be we can an institution or an organization can have a suggestion box or a box where people can write their experience and complaints in an envelope, and of course this has to be like the identity need not be revealed, you just written up, and the psychologist could take care of it and read it, and then everyone at an individual level can solve it. So suppose person A went through something because of a supervisor or another fellow or anyone, and as mentioned about, let's say, person B and person C. So maybe one person can take the authority. I think psychologist would be the right person here to read that letter, address the complaint, and then whosoever it is complained about, like suppose it is for person B and person C, then these people at other time can confess or can bring clarity by confronting and resolving the issue. Because see, workplace is also our family. That's a second home, that's a second family. So it's very important that that workplace environment need to be very, very safe, healthy, protective, loving, nurturing, and with lot of love and compassion and kindness. Lot of humility and good values and virtues needs to be practiced at a workplace, which creates overall healthy working environment for everyone, and that is important. I mean, that's the success. So this way, in the box, the people can write the complaints, and then the matter can be resolved instead of feeling difficult about it. Fourth thing could be that maybe once or twice a month we can have a fun, joyful sessions. Again, this can be taken up by a psychologist, and you can have a separate workplace can have a separate team for this, who will arrange games and different type of fun and joyful sessions where each and every employee can participate, and they just have a day I mean, if not the, not the entire day, but maybe just few hours, like 1 or 2, 3 hours, where they can just relax, unplug themselves, unwind themselves, and just have fun with each and everyone. Sorry. This is really, really important, and any workplace, any organization, any company can do this thing. It doesn't take much time. I mean, of course, it saves a lot of time than going into that negativity and falling sick and all other nonsense things coming up. This is really, really important, because workplace in itself is nothing. Workplace becomes workplace because of the individuals who work there, the kind of energy, the vibrations they bring into the workplace. And besides this energy and vibrations, which are very, very powerful, their level of consciousness, how much they are aligned with the vision of the workplace or the institution they are working with. And so it has to be that this relationship has to be from both the sides. It has to be a mutual relationship, where individual is also growing as a being, in his mental health, in his mental environment as well, and also in his or her career, along with that institution and organization. So there has to be alignment of vision as well, and only a happy being or only a happy individual can give happy results. It's such a simple thing. So this kind of fun, joyful sessions must have at least once or twice in a month. And also, fifth thing could be that maybe once in a month a selected group of individuals can teach and educate and discuss about something that matters to them. So if like for some people, like for me, heaven matters. So whenever I share any stories about my heaven, about my dog, it's something beautiful, like no words, but everyone enjoys it, because everyone feels that, like whosoever I have shared with so far, like it's a fun thing, and it fosters connection, which is very, very important. So when I say things like this, then another individual has his or her own experience with a beloved one in his or her life. So or anyone can talk about whatever hobbies they are interested in. So for me, books also matters a lot. So that would be a fun topic to discuss on. And then trekking experience or traveling experience, and most importantly, individual's journey so far. This takes lot of vulnerability, which is equal to courage. So like listening everyone's story and being a part of that story is very, very important. It becomes life lessons for each and everyone. So this kind of thing should be and must be included in the workplace. And a circle of sharing, this is very important. Twice a month or maybe once a month, when and how it's possible, everyone sits together and discuss their struggles they have at the workplace. Now this is beyond those formal meetings of tell me your feedback or what have you observed and all of that. This may not work, because still lot of some kind of politics or sarcasm or involvement or interference is still there. Here everyone in a circle of sharing, everyone becomes equal. Everyone should be seen at an individual level, not with the position they hold at that level. And psychologists should take a lead here, being objective, evaluative person here, because that's important. So psychologists running this thing, and we have a circle of sharing, and everyone shares what difficulty they are going through without naming anyone. See, when we are working with any organization, company, institution, lot of things needs to be taken care. Okay, there are some rules and ethics which needs to be followed, and lot of this thing can be taken care when one goes for individual therapy sessions outside the organization. But within the organization, this healthy mental health environment is very important, which is the theme. That's why I'm emphasizing on this. So in a circle of sharing, everyone shares whatever difficulties they are going through and share it openly and honestly, and then it can be addressed right then and there at an individual level as well as a collective level. So these are some of my suggestions to build a protective, safe, happy, joyful, healthy workspace where mental health is priority. And when mental health becomes priority, in a way it is like you are prioritizing individual. And one more thing, there are times when not everyone, but yes, everyone from time to time might go through some mental health crisis. But for some individuals who have some level of diagnosis in terms of mental health problems, or are actually going through something, then some separate norms and policies and facilities should be and can be provided to those individuals. There should not be any stigma, embarrassment, or unhelpful behaviors around all this. And this also, and another thing also has to do with the harassment part. Harassment is one aspect, and huge aspect of harassment is what happens at a physical level, but it could also be at an emotional and psychological level, where people spread rumors and that pairing game, and indirectly using sarcasm and interfering in someone's personal space without that person's permission, or going beyond that person's comfort. This is another level of harassment, and it is harassment. It may not be the physical harassment that we see often, but this is again very subtle and very traumatic at a psychological and emotional level, where another person intentionally and forcefully entering into someone's space, and that individual, the other side of the person, not feeling comfortable at all, and things are being forced at a sarcastic level and indirectly and all of that. So even for this harassment part, other separate norms, rules and policies, and most importantly their contact with the psychologist should be there. And I would also say for a psychologist also who is working with any organization, maybe the boss be more open and helpful, where a lot of things that psychologist himself or herself struggles at an individual level because of other people, and whatever is happening to employees around, everything is then taken care. Basically the goal is to create a safe, healthy, protective workspace which takes care of mental health. When any organization accommodates all of these facilities that I discuss and that are being discussed by WHO and the team, then we are creating a healthy, safe workspace. Because when one is taking care of mental health, one is taking care of that individual at all levels. Wish you a happy World Mental Health Day. Take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, because beloved, you matter. Thank you so much.